Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And today is a meditation from The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty. I haven't made a video, I think it's 2 days maybe on this channel, so I wanted to get back into the regular schedule of things and do some meditations on here. Today's meditation is so fantastic and really resonates with where I've been for the last few months. So I wanted to read it on here, and then I wanted to kind of share some thoughts of what how I relate to it and things like that. So today's meditation is from March 6th, which is today, and it says, peace. Anxiety is often our first reaction to conflict, problems, or even our own fears. In those moments, detaching and getting peaceful may seem disloyal or apathetic. We think, if I really care, I'll worry. If this is really important to me, I must stay upset. We convince ourselves that outcomes will be positively affected by the amount of time we spend worrying. Our best problem-solving resource is peace. Solutions arise easily and naturally out of a peaceful state. Often, fear and anxiety block solutions. Anxiety gives power to the problem, not the solution. It does not help to harbor turmoil. It does not help. Peace is available if we choose it. In spite of chaos and unsolved problems around us, all is well. Things will work out. We can surround ourselves with the resources of the universe: water, earth, a sunset, a walk, a prayer, a friend. We can relax and let ourselves feel peace. Today I will let go of my need to stay in turmoil. I will cultivate peace and trust that timely solutions and goodness will arise naturally and harmoniously out of the wellspring of peace. I will consciously let go and let God. And I love this meditation, and the reason why it resonates with me so much is if you've watched my videos on this channel specifically, and maybe my vlog as well, over the last, 6 months to a year, I've really focused a lot of attention, and I know that some people get tired of hearing me say this, but I have focused a lot of attention on getting up in the morning and getting centered, and, doing my prayers and my meditations and my gratitude list and positive affirmations for the day. The reason that I talk so much about it is because it has been so life-changing to me. And it's been something that I've done at times in my life. But, like any good tool or skill that we have, often we don't go to those things that we know work. Sometimes we would rather stay angry, upset, or in turmoil, as the meditation was talking about, And I look at different points in my life where I just was so focused on the problem that I couldn't see the solution. And always, the solution is within me. It's really about my reaction or my response. And I've talked a lot about that, on here. And it's interesting when I think about all of the things I've talked about on this channel in the last few months, and I've talked about being responsive instead of reactionary, and, being grateful for the small things in life that we have, and being focused on the priorities in life and what really matters, and really seeing through the problem, taking, lessons from everything that happens to us, and realizing that in anything that happens to us in this world, there are always, learning experiences to come from that. And then I've talked about how life to me is really like a school. And we never really graduate from that school. We just go from grade to grade to grade when we learn a lesson. And so it's this, ever ongoing school that we'll never graduate from. Today, I have to say, I'm thankful to be part of that, Lessons don't always come to me the way that I want them to. Lessons come to me often in very, very painful ways. Lessons often come to me in falling on my face, and making huge mistakes and doing things that I'm embarrassed of, But in the end, if I'm open to the lesson, I'm going to learn from that. But only if I'm in a peaceful state of mind. Only if my mind is open and clear, as well as just everything else about me, open and clear to the lesson. I can't learn things in life by being closed off to the lesson. I have to be in a peaceful state of mind before that happens. And what I have realized, in the last few months is that much of my life was reactionary, and I acted in kind of this, hamster wheel kind of mentality of just spinning my wheels. Hold on a second. PP is dying to be up here. Well, they're all dying to be up here right now. You want to say hi, PP? He said, hello. How are you today? He said, I'm peaceful every day. Isn't it wonderful to be a dog? I mean, but you know, I look back on my life, and many of the things that I handled in my life, you know, from breakups and, you know, just all kinds of things, especially breakups, I think is a really good determinant of how we react in any situation. You know, I didn't handle those situations with clear-headedness. I didn't handle those situations, you know, and this is dating all the way back to when I was, you know, 19 years old. You know, I was in my head just, you know, and that's not good for anybody, you know? Like, that's not good for me. And today I have learned that before I take any action on what I'm going to do, you know, there's a recovery saying that's restraint of pen and tongue. Before I say anything, before I react, before I respond even today, you know, I try to sit on it. That doesn't mean that I don't vent to people in my life. That doesn't mean that I don't go crazy for a couple minutes, you know, but usually when I sit on it, and peacefulness to me today is a state of meditation, you know, I think like, meditation is this idea that we have to get all zen and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, really back in the day, one of the definitions of meditation was just deep thinking. You know, thinking about something on a deeper level and really processing it and doing some inventory in our own head about what's going on. And today, when I can get to that peaceful state, right? Okay, the dogs went crazy for a second. They love to like chase each other around, specifically while I'm doing my Peterisms video about peace. So anyway, those are the things I also enjoy today. Like, you know, I stay very mindful and very present in the moment of enjoying watching, you know, Tucker and Boo Radley chase each other around while I'm trying to film, and PP sitting next to me, because there's going to be a day, you know, that's not the case. And so I want to stay present and enjoy those moments, you know, while I'm there. But if you've watched my vlog lately, then you know that, like, I've been talking a lot about this. I've been listening to a lot of classical music and opera. Actually, on Sirius Radio, it's channel 76. And, you know, it's interesting because when I was growing up, my mother listened to a lot of National Public Radio, and we would listen to, like, Fresh Air, or, like, on Sundays, we would listen to Thistle and Shamrock, which was Celtic music. And in the kitchen, always, my mom had NPR playing on the radio, you know, and I can remember the station. It was, like, I think 90.1. I don't know why I remember that, but, you know, she always had NPR on the background. And so, for me, it was kind of a soundtrack to, like, peaceful living back in the day, just hearing them talk. And I was telling a friend this the other day. Well, my friend Melissa was actually in the car with me, and she's like, "Are you listening to classical music?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh my God, I listen to a lot of classical music when I drive around during the day too." And I said, "Yeah, it like really helps me stay kind of peaceful and in the moment, you know, and thoughtful about things. Because I don't want my mind to be running rampant with craziness that I don't need to get myself involved in, you know?" And I think that's part of it, is that today I would rather move at a slow, steady pace, you know, like just in life in general, and be observant and notice the things around me, like the snow falling lightly, or, you know, just like a really great cup of coffee, or the dogs chasing themselves around, or whatever. I want to notice that. I want to be appreciative of that. And I have to be in a peaceful state of mind before I can do that. I'm not going to even notice what's going on in my life, let alone be able to handle any problem that comes my way, if I'm not staying peaceful and in the moment. And I think that's why this meditation so resonated with me, you know? Things are going to happen to me in life. Things are going to happen that I don't like, you know? I have a lot of things. I've had, you know, 3 major family members pass away in the last, you know, 11 years. My mother, my aunt, and uncle. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine earlier today, a sober friend of mine that, like, knew all 3 of them, you know? And I was saying, you know, it's really weird to some degree that, like, I don't have that anymore. And only because I was at a peaceful state of mind could I kind of process through that over the years, you know? Like, if I didn't have that, if I didn't have my recovery and the steps and all of that, which you don't need to have to get through grief, but if I didn't have a peaceful state of mind, I think I would have, like, always stayed stuck in what I was missing and all this kind of stuff. And I do get sad from time to time, you know, and I do think about them, obviously. They meant very much to me. But at the same time, I'm allowed to, you know, be able to go on with my life and have my own adventure, as it was said in the movie Up. And I think a lot about that, you know, but I have to first be in a peaceful state of mind before I can process anything, you know, anything. And today, like Alex knows this, like whenever we have to make a major decision, like if it's going to be going on a trip, or, you know, when are we going to take a trip, like for example, because we're planning some trips right now, or even if it's just, you know, like going somewhere doing this, or, you know, how to do our taxes, or whatever it is, you know, like usually I kind of like just sit on it and I'll say, can you let me think about that for a little bit, you know, because I have to kind of get myself peaceful, you know, before I react. There's been moments in my life where I'm not peaceful at all and I react, and I look back on that and I'm like, yeah, not good. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be that today. Today, I want to be a better version of myself every day that I get up, and I want to work on that every day, because even at the end of the day, if I look back on that day and there are some things that I'm not happy with, you know, at least I can look back and I can say, well, you did your best, you know, you really tried to be the best version of yourself for that day, and isn't that all that we can ask? I mean, honest to God, at the end of the day. But first, we have to be in a peaceful state of mind to do that. And for me, the way that I get there, and I cannot sing its praises enough, it doesn't even take me more than 15 minutes in the morning, you know? I get up, I do my prayers, I do my meditations, I do a gratitude list in my head, I say some positive affirmations, and I'm ready to go on with my day. You know, and I always ask myself this before I go on with the day, before I pick up my phone typically and everything, and I'll say, are you ready to go on with your day? I don't know where that came from, but I ask myself that in my head. I'll say, are you ready to go on with your day? And only when I can answer that, okay, with a resounding yes, do I go and pick up my phone and all this kind of stuff? Because I don't know. Like, I don't know what the... I mean, there's some days that nothing has happened. There's other days that I receive like 5 texts, you know? Can you deal with this? Can you do that? Blah, 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 from, you know, friends and family in my life. And I'm like, okay, if I'm not in a peaceful state, whatever state I'm in is where I'm going to meet that problem. And I think that that is really, really important, you know? If you just got cut off, let's say if you're driving somewhere and you just got cut off 3 times on your way home, when you get home, whatever you meet there, okay, well, whether it's, you know, the kids are wanting dinner, or, you know, somebody got a bad report card, or, you know, like any problem that you have, a bill that you didn't expect, let's say, right? You know, or you bounced a check, or whatever it could be. If you meet it with a peaceful mind, if you take some moment to like go, okay, I need to like pull myself in, even if that's just sitting in the driveway or the garage for 2 or 3 minutes and calming yourself down, relaxing, getting in your head, saying, everything's gonna be okay, I can handle this, it's just one moment in time. Even if we do that, you know, then I think what happens over time is that we start responding to things differently instead of reacting. And I know today, I don't wanna be reactionary, I wanna be responsive, you know, I wanna really think through things. My peace today, you know, is not a luxury. It is something that I take and I guard with deeply, you know? And when things come my way, even if I have a reaction inside of me, I realize I don't have to put that out there in the world, to my husband, to my friends, to my family, to the public, to anybody, you know? I can sit on that and think about that today. And I first have to be in a really peaceful state of mind before I can really think it through. You know, it's like, if you're gonna make a new meal, right? You're not gonna make a meal on top of this last meal that you made without cleaning up the dishes and without cleaning up the forks and the bowls and leaving all the extra food out there, right? You're gonna clean off your counter and you're gonna put the new food down there, cooking a new meal. It's very similar to that, right? Like, I don't want to deal with any new problems in my life or any new day that comes my way without kind of getting centered and clearing, you know, the counter first, so to speak, cleaning the slate, you know, to go on to what the next thing is. And for me, it's vital today, you know, like I have to have that. And for any of you out there that have tried it over any extended period of time, you know it is extremely valuable and it's something that you can't take lightly. So this meditation was fantastic. I think that peace of mind is greatly underrated. I really, really do. I don't think we talk enough about it, you know? And I think that when you encounter people in the world that have true peace of mind, and I'm working on it, I'm not 100% there yet. I don't even know that I'm 60% there yet, you know? But when you meet people that have true peace of mind on a day-to-day basis, what you find is that they handle their lives in ways that are admirable. And that's what I'm working towards. Anyway, I hope you guys like the meditation. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.